All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this presentation. I hope you are well wherever you are. My name is Brandy Hart. I am the principal at Whittier Elementary School, and I am here tonight to present the AGR end of the year report. The things that I will cover tonight will be what is the AGR grant, what are the identified strategies in use, literacy in the whole child. We will share growth and achievement data from kindergarten through third grade students, and then our action steps as we move into next school year. So what is the AGR grant? AGR is Achievement Gap Reduction. This was a program that was established in 2015, 2016 in replacement of SAGE classrooms. This grant allows participating schools to choose one of three or a combination of three strategies proven effective to reduce the achievement gap in early learners. Those three strategies would be one-on-one tutoring, coaching, so instructional coaching, getting kind of moving teachers up and helping support teachers. That could also include intervention, and small class sizes defined by 18 or less students in one classroom. Why are we here hearing about this? It is a requirement of the grant to present twice to the board, so twice in the school year, to share which strategies are being utilized, as well as to share the current achievement data. So which strategy are we using? So currently Whittier is utilizing a combination of two strategies. The first being small class sizes, and the second being instructional coaching and intervention. Prior to this school year, the only strategy used was class size reduction. Why? Smaller groups do allow teachers more one-on-one support to students, allows the teacher to plan and scaffold varying needs and varying learning styles. This year, we have decided to utilize two strategies. So we added an instructional coach. This instructional coach, or we call them our AGR coach, focuses on literacy, math, and behavioral support, as well as interventions needed to lift students up. This was new this school year, and I believe it has gone really well to support and provide that layer of support for our K and our 1 students, who are our earliest learners, and they allow us the ability to close the achievement gap the fastest. I do want to mention that it is not just the AGR grant or AGR program that is allowing us or the ability to close gaps to boost our children up to where we need them to be. I want to highlight some of the delineated layers of support that we currently have at Whittier this school year. This year, the progression of relationship building was really focused on knowing our learners academically and knowing what our learners need. By the use of data, by the use of purposeful planning, like we have really band together in many ways to make sure that that is what we're providing for our students. So I'm going to highlight these three things that you see on your screen right now, because I think they all go really well together in what we are focused on for literacy and just educating the whole child. The first one is PCL, or Partnerships in Comprehensive Literacy. We have a coach that is dedicated to the PCL learning, and she has 2 classrooms that she's worked intensively with this school year that are model classrooms. And in the PCL model, not only are coaches working with teachers, but coaches are also working with students. So remaining very close to the instruction and what students need. But by the use of model classrooms, the basis behind that is to multiply. So we have 2 model classrooms, let's multiply. Maybe next year we'll have 4, maybe the next year we'll be at 6, and really building the expertise of our teachers within those model classrooms. The middle one, as I mentioned, our K1, our AGR coach, was focused only on kindergarten and first grade, so 4 classrooms, intensively supporting those 4 sections with planning, with coaching, with the execution of the plans, with student engagement, positive classroom management in reading and math and in all the subjects in between. And then our last one kind of symbolizes our proactive behavior support that we have been focused on this school year. We have a half-time staff member that has been fully supporting this initiative at the school to making sure that we are proactively supporting kids wherever they are behaviorally as well. This year, we have focused on the work of Ross Green, learning that our own mindsets around behavior and emotional need can help or can hurt the situation in how we handle it with our words, with our body language, and the belief around if kids could do well, they would do well. That really has helped us work together to identify lagging skills in social emotional need so that we can target what does this child need to be successful, and that has helped us look at behavior just the same way we look at literacy or math. What skills do they need for us to help them be successful, and let's find that in any way: academics, behavioral, social, emotional, and making sure that we're serving the whole child. So all of this in collaboration with SAIL and the different things you see on your screen, like purposeful planning, embedded PD with practice right there, data-driven PLCs. These structures really helped support us this school year, and I hope to keep this going for next year with the merge as well. All of that being said, I would like to get started to share our achievement data. We're going to start with kindergarten and first grade students. We used running record as our basis for kinder and first grade because we do not take the reading map assessment in this grade level. So our end of the year goal, you can see, is 50% or more of the grade level will be on or above reading grade level as identified by district benchmarks. So you can see that we met that goal in first grade, and we are just 2 students away from meeting that goal in kindergarten. In reference to the running record, I will share a couple other data points that I want you to see for kindergarten and first grade. In kindergarten, last time I was here, I shared with you our baseline letter sounds. We definitely have other assessments within PALS that we take to measure our students' success and ability to start reading. This is where we were in September, and we talked a little bit about, as we move into December, how 4K really stood out because it took our 4K students, they came in knowing kind of approximately what our kids that didn't have 4K came in December. So it took them a couple months to catch up, but they did. And this is where we are ending in May with letter sounds. And so you can see that on average, approximately most kids know approximately 25 letter sounds in each of those sections. You can look class 1, class 2, or students that did attend 4K. Why is this important? Why am I sharing you this? Having letter sound knowledge allows children to link between unfamiliar print and print of their spoken language, of what they can read. This increases confidence. And it's really the early reading skills that we need to see so that children are then successful on something like a running record where they can figure out the words that they need. So I want to share this with you because it is great success, and we would like to continue monthly tracking in kindergarten next year as well. I'm going to move us back to first grade. And in first grade, when I shared you the result, it was 50% of the class was, 50% of the grade level, excuse me, was on or above grade level for reading, as identified by a running record. There were then 15 kids that were not. And so I want you to see that although our goal is 50% being on or above grade level, we know that's not enough. Like, we know that we need to continue pushing our students, and kids do learn at all different rates. So what I want to show you in this screen is those 15 children that aren't quite there yet have made tremendous growth. With the exception of 3 kids down here, every other student has grown from fall to spring 1 to 2 grade levels. So up here, kind of at the top of your screen, is first grade benchmark, and kindergarten benchmark is at the bottom of your screen. So you can see that in kindergarten, on average, a child should hopefully come between a 0 and a 2 and end the year at a running record level 5. If you look in this middle column, you see that many of the students on your screen came to us at a kindergarten level, 0 to 2, and how much they grew. So in first grade, we're hoping that our children come to us between a 7 and an 8 by the first month of school, and that they grow into a 17, 18. You can see that if we had probably one more month left of school, those last students, 12, 13, 14, 15, those 4 would definitely be there up to a 16, 17, 18. So with, some summer instruction or just continually reading throughout the summer, we do feel pretty confident that first graders will be even more closely aligned to grade level benchmark. I am going to keep us moving. This is second and third grade. Second and third grade students, we use the MAP, the reading MAP assessment. And you can see in this second and third grade reading MAP assessment data that we did not meet our end of the year goal. Our end of the year goal would have been 50% of the grade level at or above the 50th percentile. So we did not meet it. I do want to point out, though, that we are seeing growth, and it is not always as easy as only looking at the achievement scores. I know that that's what I have to report, but I have a building of incredibly dedicated educators working around the clock to make sure that kids are getting what they need. And so if I didn't point out bright spots, I would not be representing what's actually happening at our building. So these 6 lovely stick figures represent 6 lovely second or third grade students. If you look at this first one, you can see that there was tremendous growth made through this school year. This child started at the 14th percentile and ended the year at the 50th percentile. Now this child's score shows up, right? That is an achievement score because they hit right at the 50th. But if you look at this next child, they grew a bunch. They grew 10 percentile points, which is more than average in a school year, but they did not show up on our percentile or our achievement scores. And I think that's important to point out. The other one I want to point out is number 6, down here over at the end. In purple, this child started at the 18th percentile, which is below basic, and is ending the school year at the 31st percentile, which is tremendous growth. No longer is this student showing up in red, right, below basic. This student has moved up. And so that is what we want to see. We want to see, even if they're not showing an achievement score, we do want to see them moving up. Sometimes there's pushback in saying, well, we're only focused on, the kids that are not achieving. And I want to show you that that is not true at all. And so if you look at these 3 students in the middle, so student 3, 4, and 5, these are students that do appear on our achievement score, and you can see that they are growing at a tremendous rate as well. So this child started at the 53rd percentile and is ending at the 73rd percentile, which is tremendous growth and moving up and up. So this score in the spring shows us that they are ready to be proficient on a forward exam. If you move over here, this child is very high, started the school year high achieving. 89th percentile is huge, continues to grow at the 97th percentile. These are numbers we're really proud of because this says to us we are servicing every single child, no matter where they are or where they fall in the continuum. Yes, we do spend a lot of the time boosting our children up that need that achievement gap closed, but even for children that do not need to close an achievement gap, we are still working extremely hard to make sure they continue to grow. And then this child right here in the blue, that's just awesome. They've breached the 50th percentile from 22nd to 51st percentile, and we're just super proud of them. So some bright spots, even though we did not meet our end of the year goal, we have stepped up and we will continue to reach for that goal. There's another bright spot I want to share while I have you on video here. And this is a student's progress over time. And I think this is really important to show because every child moves and grows and learns at a different pace. We can have all the benchmarks we want of average growth, but kids are kids and they do learn at different rates. And I want to show you this because I think it is a true testament to the Whittier team of teachers, regular education, special education, title, that work with kids and give students what they need. This is also a testament of a family who listened and read at home and really supported their child's learning. So let me talk you through this a little bit. This is a student that came to us in second grade. So this would have been the 1920 school year. So this is a COVID. This is the year we shut down. This is a no excuses, right? We still learned even though we were at home. And this child came to us in second grade reading at a level 3. So running record level 3 in second grade was about a mid kindergarten level and ended second grade virtually, ended second grade reading at an 18. So that is an end of first grade reading level. So that child made a year and a half growth. That is closing the achievement gap. That's 1 year of closing the achievement gap. Now that child starts third grade. Well, they're still a little behind, right? Because they're starting third grade at an end of first grade reading level. Now they've grown again. They've made an entire year of progress in that third grade, and now they're reading at a level 23, which is beginning third grade level. 1 more year, we have them again. They come back. Now they're a fourth grader, and they end spring fourth grade right now at a 27. That child is moments away from being at the end of fourth grade, may still make it in these last couple of weeks. With the support that this child is getting. I think that this over time is fantastic because we do look at data for more than just a 1 year lens. Fall to spring is great, but fall to spring and add a year is really where the magic happens because it allows our team to work together and figure out what the child needs. So this child had support from home, from title, from special education, from regular education, and has made great gains, and we are very proud of them. I'm going to move into math. So math is measured by the MAP assessment in kindergarten all the way through third grade. Our goal, end of year goal, is the same. We want 50% of our classes at 50th percentile or higher. As you look through the spring data right here, you can see that we are one student away from meeting that goal in kinder. We've met the goal in first grade, and we did not meet the math end of year goal in second or in third grade. That being said, again, for second and third grade, I do want to point out some bright spots. These are children that should be incredibly celebrated, and there are more like it. But I just want to point out 20 percentile points is huge. From the 11th to the 55th percentile is really unheard of. It is amazing growth, and that is very purposeful from that child, probably from the child's family supporting, and even from the especially from the classroom supporting as well. 20-point growth over here. Now these yellow bubbles are the ones that I need you to see because this shows that our ladder is happening. We are scaffolding kids up to the next level, to the next level. This is a child who started the school year at the 3rd percentile, meaning 97% the rest of those second or third graders were performing higher than this child. And then they moved to the 27th. That is huge. If this child continues learning and growing at this rate, he or she will be caught up in the next 2 years. And this is what we do need to look at to make sure that we're on the right path. This is another amazing example, starting at the 7th percentile, growing to the 40th percentile. I would say if this continues, the child will be caught up by next year. So it does take time, and we are growing and moving and adding steps to that ladder. Looking at our data is something that is very important to us. I'm going to show you one way that allows us to have those deep discussions about data and what we're doing or not doing. This is a quadrant chart that we use to look at data. And over here on the right-hand side, you can see that you can filter down to just math, just reading, just females, just males. You can look at the ethnicities and see, where our kids are performing. I'm going to explain this chart to you a little bit and then show you where we spend most of our time when we are looking at data. So this green section, high achievement, high growth, is really where we want most kids at. That means they're performing high achievement, so 50th percentile or above, and they're continuing that all year long. They are staying there. This is really where we want to celebrate. This box over here, I'm going to say that's orangish, is also a huge celebration box. We cannot make it to green until we are in orange. So the children, or the little bubbles that you see in this area, those are kids that are still performing under the 50th percentile, but are growing so fast or closing the achievement gap, they will be on their way to the green. So these two top boxes are huge for celebration. I'm going to skip down to this yellow one. This yellow one means like they are performing, they're high achieving, but they're not growing as fast. These children are in jeopardy of dropping down lower than the 50th percentile unless we have a plan to figure out why they're not growing as fast. This is a concerning square. If this is the only data point we look at, we may not see the whole picture for the child, but this is a definite place to start if kids are not growing at the rate we need them to. But the pink section is really where the deep conversations of data take place. The pink section are the kids we are most concerned about because they're low achieving and they're also not growing at a rate we want them to. When I say at a rate we want them to, if they're low achieving, our move is to try to close the gap, so to grow them more than a year, and that is how we close the gap. So in this section is where we are talking about intervention, where we are talking about plans for children, where we are having PST or problem solving team meetings where everyone comes together and we figure out, with the child, with the family, with the teaching staff, what can we do and what do we need to do to hold children successful, so in reading, in math, and whatever they need. So I'm showing this because I think it is important for you to see that we look at data in many different lenses over the scope of years, over the scope of fall to spring, over the scope of high achieving, low achieving, with high growth. And I think all of that needs to continue as we move together with the Hadfield group. Here are the action steps that we have laid out for next school year. The first action step is actually reapplying for the AGR grant. So the AGR grant will help service our children for the next 5 years before reapplication. That would be the next step that is currently happening right now as we move over to the Hadfield site. First bubble, we still want to focus on self-regulation. Self-regulated learners are learners that are in the classroom and that can absorb the knowledge that the teachers are giving them. And so that is something that we definitely want to continue with. Fidelity to instructional minutes in all subjects is very important to us. When children are in the seats, we need to make sure that we are sticking to the minutes that we have guaranteed to kids, to families, to each other for reading, for math, for writing, and all of the subjects in between. we have a new math program. So that is very, very exciting. And so we do want to stick to that program with fidelity, learn all the parts of that math program, and make sure that we're targeting the skills that our students need. So we're very excited about that. We will continue with the PCL learning and coaching and developing more model classrooms so that we're able to support all of our learners. And then our teachers, our model classrooms are support other teachers, and we'll just build our expertise from the bottom up. And we're very excited about that. We're equally excited to set our literacy goal around writing next year, because writing is in all content areas. And we know that affects that writing connects to reading and how important that is to bridge that for our learners. Our AGR coaching, I think in our data that was shared today, you can see that there was a saturated approach to kindergarten and first grade. Those are the grade levels that we met or just came very close to meeting those goals in, and you can see that in the data just by running record and just by map. So as we move into next year, I think we will position our coaches a little bit differently to make sure that we are focused on K-3 different way, both regular education and special education. So we would like to continue the work with being very, very focused on our small groups, being very focused on using data to drive our instruction to close those gaps as we merge together. And then the last bullet, just we need to continue merging together positively with a strong focus on what our students need. Our students need high expectations from every single adult that walks in the building. They need care, they need compassion, but they need high expectations for behavior, for academics, for social emotional need in order to be successful. Our job is to make sure that they are learning and that they are learners in a place that they are safe and comfortable in. So we are very focused on merging everything together and making that work with the Hatfield group. So that is what I have for you. The end of year AGR presentation for Whittier. I look forward to talking to you more on June 7th at the board meeting. However, if you have any questions in the meantime, you know where to find me. You can call or email if you'd like. Otherwise, I will see you back here on June 7th. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.